We're back. It's been like a month and a half since we last recorded a video. And now we're back for
We are back.
Clash. No, what is this? Is this Clash?
This is Clash. Yep,
Okay.
Clash at the Castle.
Clash at the Castle. It's been so long. I forgot to take out my retainer so I could speak more clearly. My bad. And now we're back. Ow, my teeth hurt now. That's the first time I've had them bitches on in like a month and a half. I left them here. Ow, damn, that actually really hurts. I can't. Whew. How am I gonna eat? All right, well, that don't matter.
It's all this staying in the intro.
Yes, I'm
Oh
a bit sick,
no.
so I will cough probably a lot. I got sick in Japan. What an intro! This is the best intro
What an
ever.
it. I know. I don't think we've ever done an intro better than this.
Fuck it. Time for me to start this show. All right. Roman starts off the match against the man who pinned him last time for the titles, JD McDonough. Showing no fear, JD runs right towards Roman as the bell rings, and he immediately gets hit with a spear. Cover. One, two, kick out. Roman smiles. We hear him say, I'm about to prove last time was a fluke, little boy. Roman goes to work right after, hitting things we haven't seen him hit in years, like the crucifix power bomb. He goes for the cover, but Mello breaks it up. Jay then goes out to take out Mello. Mello ducks, tossing Jay out the ring to the outside. They start brawling for a bit ringside. Roman gets up, goes to pick up JD. JD, though, was waiting for this and hits Roman with a headbutt. The only man in history that could make a Samoan feel pain with a headbutt. Roman is down. JD quickly hits Devil inside, goes for the cover. One, two, kick out. That was all JD had left in him. He goes to tag in Mello. He does. Roman also tags in Jay. Mello springboards into the ring. Jay hits him with a super kick midair. Cover. One, two, kick out. Jay wastes no time. Quickly, uh, he starts setting up for a spear. He hits it up up to the top rope for Uso splash. He hits an Uso splash. One, two, kick out. Mello again kicks out. Jay throws Mello to their corner. Roman and Jay take turns tagging in and out, wearing down Mello. Finally, Roman decides to stay in to keep the punishment going. Roman Irish whips Mello into the ropes. Mello bounces off. Roman goes for a spear. Mello jumps over it. Mello hits an enziguri on Roman. He goes to hit the ropes. He springboards off the middle rope, but he springboards right into a spear. Roman covers. One, two, kick out. Oh wait, not kick out. JD breaks it up. Jay runs in. Jay runs in and super kicks JD out the ring. Roman and Jay start talking. They come up with a plan. Roman Irish whips Mello again into the ropes. Mello bounces off. Roman carries Mello up as they hit a 1D on him. Roman goes for the cover. One, two, kick out. Shock on Roman and Jay's faces. Only one man has ever kicked out of the 1D before today. That man is Sami Zayn. Mello is twitching, trying to get up, but doesn't have the strength. Jay picks him up. Roman starts hitting the ropes. He runs back and forth a few times before finally going to hit the spear. At the same time, Jay hits a super kick on Mello. Spear super kick combo. Roman covers. One, two, three. Here are your winners and the new World Tag Team Champions, Roman Reigns and Jey Uso. After the match, we see Roman and Jay celebrate. They celebrate all the way to the top of the ramp, Adam Cole comes out from the crowd, get in the ring to check on Mello. JD is just sitting on the commentary by the commentary table, just in shock that they lost the titles already. Mello has some tears in his eyes. Cole telling him it's gonna be all right, telling him to just get up. Mello says he really tried his hardest and that he's sorry. Cole says it's okay, just get up. Mello gets up. Cole turns to the ramp to see Roman and Jay taunting them up there. Mello comes up to Cole to apologize one more time. Mello places his hand on Cole's shoulder from behind. Mello turns around and not Mello. Cole turns around and low blows Mello. JD stands up confused, not sure what's happening. Cole super kicks Mello. Mello doesn't go down though. Quickly, Cole hits the Shining Wizard. Mello falls. JD is about to enter the ring when Cole starts pointing towards the crowd, and there they come. It's Kyle O'Reilly and Bobby Fish. JD pauses on the apron. They come in and start attacking Mello. They hit total elimination and chasing dragons on him. Mello's face down. Cole comes up to him and says, Cole comes up to him, lifts his head, and yells, "We're only as strong as our weakest link." And he lands one final super kick on him. He turns to JD, who's on the apron. JD's still confused. Cole extends his hand out, trying to get a handshake, telling him he has nothing to worry about. JD jumps off the apron and just starts heading to the back. Redragon go to attack him, but Cole holds him back, saying, "Don't worry about him. He'll be on our side soon enough." All right.
Tragic that title reign couldn't last longer. JD with the shock upset of the year at Money in the Bank, pinning Roman Reigns for the title.
And now chaos will ensue.
Come on.
All right.
Yeah, I guess that just doesn't work anymore. Cool. Okay, we move on to our second match tonight. Charlotte versus Cora Jade for the Women's Championship. The bell rings and Cora charges across the ring to attack Charlotte, but Charlotte just trips Cora and she goes crashing into the turnbuckle. Charlotte then goes to the other side of the ring and taunts Cora. Cora then once again charges across the ring, but Charlotte sidesteps her and sends her through the ropes. Cora just stares at Charlotte from the outside, and Charlotte just continues to taunt her. Cora goes to get back in the ring, and just as she's about to step through, Charlotte rushes over and kicks her leg that has stepped through the ropes. Charlotte then continues the assault on Cora's leg. She continue. She works over her leg for the next few minutes until Cora manages to start throwing some punches and get Charlotte off of her. Cora is a little ginger on her leg, but heads over to Charlotte, who is across the ring. Charlotte quickly switches their positions and throws Cora into the corner and begins hitting chops on her. Cora eventually drops down, and Charlotte hits several stomps before being pulled away by the referee. Charlotte then does the flare strut away and turns around. Charlotte tells Cora, "You've had a good run, sweetheart, but it's the Queen's turn to rule the kingdom." Charlotte heads over to Cora and goes to pull her out, but Cora just kicks Charlotte in the chest. This angers Charlotte, and she goes to head back and grabs Cora's leg again, but once again, Cora kicks her in the chest. Cora then gets up and starts firing punches at Charlotte and gets Charlotte across the ring and gets her into a corner where she just unleashes a barrage of punches and eventually gets pulled back by the referee. Once the referee lets go, Cora immediately heads back towards Charlotte. She goes to grab her, but Charlotte pokes Cora in the eyes, then pulls her head first into the turnbuckle. This drops Cora to the mat, and Charlotte grabs onto Cora's legs and heads outside. Cora then wraps Cora's legs around the ring post and locks in a figure four. Charlotte is able to lock this in for a bit longer as the referee takes a couple of seconds to head outside and start counting to 5. Charlotte lets go at the count of 4, Cora holding onto her knee as she falls out of the ring. Charlotte then laughs to herself and picks up Cora and grabs her leg. Charlotte then hits a dragon screw leg whip on the outside. The referee into the ring has gotten back to a count of six as Charlotte picks Cora up and rolls her back in. Cora is just on the mat holding onto her knee as Charlotte gets back into the ring, grabs onto Cora's legs, and is seemingly about to lock in the figure four. But before she could do anything, Cora quickly rolls her up. But Charlotte manages to kick out at two. Cora tries to get back to her feet, but Charlotte gets by the head. Charlotte then paces around Cora and waits for her to get back on her knees. Once she does, Charlotte rushes in to hit natural selection, but Cora drops down just before she connects. Charlotte goes flying over her through the ropes. As she tries to get back in, Cora hits her off the apron. She tries again, but now Cora drop kick, sending her off yet again. Charlotte eventually just slides back in, and as she is getting up, Cora grabs her head and connects with Jaded. Cora goes for the cover. One, two, kick out. Cora just collects herself and slowly gets to her feet before grabbing Charlotte and picking her up and sending her towards the ropes. As Charlotte comes back, she ducks a Cora clothesline and chop blocks Cora's bad knee. Charlotte seems stunned with Cora putting up a fight and once again goes to lock in the figure four. Cora manages to shove Charlotte off with her good leg. Charlotte once again rushes back in, grabs Cora's bad leg, and Cora once again just shoves her off with her good leg. Charlotte goes to rush in one more time, but this time Cora rolls her up quickly. One, two, three. Charlotte is in disbelief and is arguing with the referee. She eventually just shoves the referee to the side and attacks Cora after the match. She is stomping away on her bad knee and yelling at her when Becky Lynch comes down to the ring and pulls Charlotte off of Cora. Becky goes to tend to Cora, but Charlotte then attacks Becky. Leaving them both laid out in the ring, Charlotte leaves with no title in her hands as Cora has retained.
All right, all right.
Boy, am I rusty reading.
Blood has not read. All right, fuck it. Here we go. Rhea and Bianca just go for each other right away. Chelsea just watches them go at each other, enjoying the view. She lays down on the top ropes in the corner as Bianca finally notices and Irish whips Rhea towards her, causing Chelsea to go flying to the outside. Bianca then powers Rhea up to sit her on the top rope. She goes for a Hurricane Rana, but Rhea holds her up, and Rhea lifts Bianca all the way up and throws her to the outside where she lands on Chelsea. She then waits for both of them to get up. Once they do, she launches herself onto both of them. The crowd is fired up. Rhea grabs Bianca, throws her into the steel steps, quickly picks her up, hits a riptide onto the steps, throws her into the ring, hits another riptide, goes for the cover. One, two, Chelsea breaks it up. Rhea has a death stare locked right at Chelsea. Chelsea is looking around as if there's else she could be someone else Rhea could be staring daggers at. She finally realizes there isn't and says, "Oh shit." She quickly gets up and runs out the ring. Rhea chases her. They go all around the ring in a circle until Rhea gets launched into the steel post by Piper Niven. Rhea hits the post awkwardly, spine first, and then proceeds to land directly on her back. Chelsea puts her arm around Piper and starts celebrating. Piper tells her to get in the ring and finish off Bianca. Chelsea gets in there. Bianca's barely starting to get up. Chelsea picks her up into position for an unpretty her. She has Bianca in position when Bianca reverses it and gets Chelsea in position for a KOD. Bianca hits it. She's about to go for the cover when Piper runs in and just jumps on her. Piper starts yelling at Chelsea to get up and finish off Bianca again. Chelsea finally gets up and is able to hit her finisher on Bianca. She goes for the cover. One, two. It gets broken up. Rhea had gotten up and into the ring. Piper went to attack her, but Rhea overpowered her and tossed her into the cover, breaking the pin. Rhea quickly goes for Chelsea. Chelsea tries to get away, but she's pulled back. Rhea gets her in riptide position. She goes for it, but her back gives out. She tries it one more time, but Chelsea reverses it into a DDT. She goes for the cover. Rhea kicks out at 2 and grabs her, and Rhea grabs her back afterwards. Chelsea quickly gets Rhea up for her finish, but gets hit in the abs by a massive whip from Bianca's hair. Chelsea falls on her knees. Bianca hits Rhea in the back with her hair. Then Chelsea again gets hit with it. Chelsea rolls out. Bianca gets Rhea and hits a KOD on her. She goes for the cover, but Piper is there and once again lands on top of her. Piper picks up Bianca, hits her finisher on her. Bianca rolls out. Piper picks up Rhea and hits her finisher on her. Chelsea gets up, gets back in the ring. She hits an unpretty her on Rhea for the cover. 1, 2, 3. Chelsea Green retains her championship. Some light.
Alrighty. Yeah. Okay. We move on to Sami Zayn versus Solo Sikoa. The bell rings and Solo is telling Sami that it didn't have to be this way. You chose this path, not me. You're meant to be just a statement, not the problem. You walk away though. Just turn around and we'll let bygones be bygones. Sami looks around to the crowd and teases turning around before punching Solo. Sami punches Solo back into the corner when Tonga Loa gets up on the apron and starts arguing with Sami. Solo is able to get away and recover during this argument, and when Sami turns around, Solo is able to catch him with an uppercut. This drops Sami and Solo paces around the ring, saying he is about to make one hell of an example out of Sami. He picks up Sami and places him in the corner. Solo then hits repeated blows to the side of Sami's head. Solo then backs out of the corner and gets the referee's attention, acting like he tweaked a knee or something. Sami, who is now seated in the corner, starts getting attacked by Tama Tonga, and Bronson is soon to head over and make them walk back from Sami. Solo then rushes into the corner and hits Sami with a hip attack. Solo drags him out of the corner and goes for the pin, but only gets a count of 2. Solo just chuckles and grabs Sami's head and starts laying in a series of punches. Solo goes for the pin again, but still only gets a count of 2. Solo is seemingly starting to get frustrated and picks Sami up. He once again places Sami in the corner and backs up a ring and charges in. As he charges in, Sami picks Solo up and dumps him over the top rope behind him. Solo crashes to the outside, and as he starts to recover, he is face to face with Bronson Reed. Solo is telling Bronson not to attack and to have faith in the plan. The Gorillas then make their way in front of Solo and they stare off with Bronson. Solo just laughs behind them, but as they are staring at Bronson, they don't see Sami charge across the ring and dive to the outside, taking out all of the Bloodline Wolfpack. Sami is fired up and celebrates with Bronson, and then heads over to Solo and smashes his head against the announce table a few times before throwing him back into the ring. Sami goes to re-enter the ring, but Tonga Loa grabs onto Sami's ankle. Bronson is quick to act and grabs Tonga Loa before beeling him over the announce table. Tama Tonga then sizes up Bronson before backing off and tends to Tonga Loa. Sami watches this happen before finally getting back in the ring. Once he does, Solo is quick to grab Sami and goes for the Samoan spike, but Sami ducks it and nails Solo with a blue thunderbomb. Sami goes for the cover. 1, 2, Solo kicks out. Sami is getting more fired up as he feels like he is close to victory as Solo crawls his way over to the corner and slowly makes his way to his feet. Once Solo gets to his feet, Sami rushes in and nails a haluva kick. He goes for the cover. 1, 2. Tama Tonga has slid back into the ring, attacking Sami Zayn, breaking up the pin but also causing a disqualification. Tama beats down on Sami for a little bit. Tonga Loa goes to get into the ring to assist Tama Tonga, but Bronson
You
pulls
cut
him down
out.
and oh,
I'm
which
pretty
part did
sure
I
this
cut?
part was about to be expensive. Not expensive. What the fuck? Important.
Was it after
Tama
the DQ?
hit the. Yeah, like right there.
Okay. Tama Tonga attacks Sami's aim, breaking up the pin, causing a DQ. Tonga Loa goes to get ring to help, but Bronson grabs onto his foot. Tonga looks down and Bronson pulls him down and throws him into the corner. Tama is still lashing out on Sami when Bronson gets back into the ring and throws Tama across it. Solo rolls out of the ring and collects both Tama and Tonga before walking back up the ramp with them. Bronson and Sami stand tall in the ring as Solo leaves. Sami wins via DQ.
Okay. Oh. And in this match, the story is these motherfuckers had a rivalry last year, and Michin and Zelina just have their number, so they win again.
Tragic.
Let's go.
Then we move into two big meaty men bump and meat match.
All right. Bell rings. They have a stare down. Gunther starts laughing. He raises his arms and tells Oba to bring it. So Oba does. He hits a massive chop onto Gunther. Gunther smiles and walks it off. And now he gives one to Oba. Oba doesn't move. He doesn't show any emotion. Gunther's taken aback. Oba tells him to do it again. He does. Still nothing. Again, Oba yells. He's hit with another one. Again! One final time, Gunther hits a chop on Oba. This one finally does damage. Oba's chest looks mauled at this point, and Gunther decides to keep it going. He hits the ropes and lands a massive drop kick, sending Oba out the ring. Gunther celebrates in the ring. He's talking to the crowd, saying, "This rookie thought he had a chance against me," and laughing at Oba. Gunther goes to the outside, pick apart Oba. Oba's waiting for him, and throws Gunther into the ring post head first. Oba isn't going to let this opportunity fade, as he quickly gets Gunther up and hits a fall from grace through the announce table. He's not wasting any time. He he grabs Gunther, throws him into the ring. He goes for the cover. 1, 2, kick out. Barely hits the count at 2. Oba's shocked. He thought he would have at least gotten a firm 2 there. He picks up Gunther. He puts him on the top turnbuckle. Oba climbs. Oba climbs up and hits a suplex all the way from the top. Gunther looks out of it. Oba's close. He can taste it. He starts getting up. He goes to the corner to recover, facing towards the turnbuckle. That proves to be a mistake, as Gunther gets up from behind him and puts him in a sleeper hold. Gunther pulls Oba into the middle of the ring. Oba starts fading. He gets down on one knee until even that gives out, and he's laying on the floor. Oh fuck! I've been trying to hold that bitch in for a while. Gets down until he's lying on the floor. The hold is locked in. Oba looks like he's passed out. The ref goes to check if he is. He lifts his hand. It drops on its own. He does it again. Once again, it falls. Final check. His hand gets lifted, and it doesn't hit the ground. It stops halfway. He's alive. He starts moving around. He gets Gunther on his shoulders. The ref starts counting. 1, 2. Gunther lets go. Gunther gets up first, quickly. Oba for Gunther gets up first, quickly gets Oba up for a power bomb. Cover. 1, 2. Kick out. Gunther quickly transitions into a Boston Crab, just like at WrestleMania. This is how he retired John Cena. Can Oba do what John couldn't? Can he find a way out? Oba, in the middle of the ring, tries to crawl to the ropes. Gunther pulls him back to the middle. Finally, with one final push, Oba is able to launch Gunther into the corner, head first into the turnbuckle. Oba tries to get up, but he's hobbled. He's slow to his feet, but fast enough to see Gunther running toward him. Thinking quickly, Oba Oba's able to throw Gunther up for the fall from grace. Cover. 1, 2. Kick out. Oba's just shaking his head in disbelief. He starts looking around. What can he do? He decides to climb the top rope. Maybe this could be the final blow. As he's getting into position up top, Gunther gets back up to stop him. Gunther's punching him, hits a big chop, and he climbs up with him, hoping to get revenge for eating a top rope suplex earlier. As he's climbing, Oba gets a rush of adrenaline. In the blink of an eye, he turns Gunther's world around. He muscles up Gunther for a fall from grace from the top rope. You could hear the impact from the next town over. Oba starts crawling towards Gunther. He's so close to putting his hand on his chest. Right when he's about to get there, he's hit with a super kick from off camera. The ref tells him to ring the bell. Camera pans out. It's Adam Cole. Here's your winner via disqualification, Obafemi. However, still WWE champion Gunther. And they even oh shit. Adam Cole has had some back and forths with both of these men recently, and it seems he finally picked his spot. Out from the crowd come Fish and O'Reilly. They start laying out everyone. They hit a chasing dragon on Oba. They hit a total elimination on Gunther. And they even super kick the ref. These people are evil. Adam Cole then hits a shining wizard on Oba. Then he hits a Canadian destroyer on Gunther, where he finally tells him, "No one humiliates me and gets away with it. You are dead. Count your days, champ. I'm next." And they pose in the ring and then they all leave.
Okay. Undisputed Era starting to take over.
Yes.
So we move on to Braun Breaker versus Kevin Owens for the United States Championship. Unlike most of their matches, once the bell rings, Braun Breaker doesn't immediately charge in. It seems like he has learned from their past encounters and just waits for Kevin to make the first move. Kevin slowly with Braun. They exchange words before Kevin takes a step back and then slaps Braun across the face. Braun slowly picks his head up and is seemingly staring a hole through Kevin before he charges across the ring. Kevin tries to escape, but Braun is too quick and grabs Owens as he is about halfway through the ropes. He then picks Kevin up and goes for a back suplex, but Kevin manages to rake the eyes of Braun and Braun drops him. Kevin is quick to capitalize on the blinded Braun as he chops his leg out from under him. Kevin then gets on top of Braun and is just laying in the punches before the referee has to pull Kevin off. Kevin shoves the referee to the side and goes to attack Braun again, but Braun manages to strike him in the gut. Braun gets back to his feet and Kevin and him trade blows in the middle of the ring. Braun wins the exchange and throws Kevin towards the ropes. Instead of bouncing back though, Kevin just grabs onto the ropes to stop his momentum and then he rolls out of the ring. Kevin waves off Braun and is yelling at a kid in the front row when Braun hits the ropes and dives to the outside. Braun carries maybe a bit too much momentum as he just graces Owens and flies into the front row of the crowd. Once Kevin gets back up, he looks around for Braun, but doesn't see him anywhere. He then makes his way over to the barricade and slowly looks over. As his head looks over, Braun nails him with a strike. This stuns Kevin back. Braun then gets up on the barricade and jumps off trying to hit a Hurricane Run. Kevin manages to stop his momentum and nails a powerbomb against the apron. Kevin then rolls Braun back into the ring and goes for the cover. 1, 2. Braun just gets his shoulder up before 3. Kevin looks down at Braun in disbelief. He just sits there thinking what to do next. This has always stopped Braun before. Eventually, an idea comes to mind, and he goes to pick up Braun. And once they are both get to their feet, Braun somehow manages to start to fight back. Braun just lays in punches on the midsection of Kevin before Kevin's knees Braun in the gut and sends him towards the ropes. Once Braun comes back, Kevin Once Braun comes back, Kevin throws him up, seemingly going for the pop-up power bomb, but Braun is just launched over Kevin and hits the ropes again before spearing him. Braun goes for the cover, but Kevin this time kicks out at 2. Braun doesn't dwell too long on the back to his feet. Braun once again spears him. Braun has to stop Kevin from rolling out of the ring and goes for the cover. Referee counts 1, 2. Kevin just manages to get his foot onto the ropes. Braun at this point is losing it and shoves Kevin outside to the floor. Braun rolls out of the ring on the opposite side, and as Kevin starts to crawl over to the barricade to help him get back to his feet. He doesn't see Braun start running around the ring, and just as he gets to his feet and turns around, Braun spears him through said barricade. They both stay on the ground for a few seconds before Braun gets back to his feet and starts dragging Kevin back towards the ring. Braun rolls Kevin in and then slowly gets in behind him. Braun makes his way across the ring, covers Kevin. 1, 2, kick out. Braun just seems defeated at the spears, and it hasn't even put Kevin away. Just like Kevin earlier, Braun takes a moment to think about what to do next, and then a devilish smile comes across his face. Braun gets up and picks Kevin up with him. He picks him up like he's going for a suplex, but before he can do anything else, Kevin manages to get off of Braun's shoulders and quickly nails him with a stunner. Braun just stumbles back and hits the ropes. Braun charges back towards Kevin, trying to maybe go for another spear. He then gets Braun in position and connects with a package pile driver. Braun just crumples down to the mat, and Kevin seemingly surprised about what he just did before rolling Braun over and going 1, 2, 3. Kevin celebrates his win, but has a level of concern across his face about what he just did to Braun. Medics are in the ring around Braun before putting a neck brace on him and stretcher. Kevin just watches Braun past him on the stretcher as he heads up the ramp. Kevin Owens retains his title, but at what cost?
Not enough of a cost. Should have pulled out a Glock.
I go back to back here.
Yeah.
Okay. Following that, we move into the phenomenal egos of Ethan Page and AJ Styles taking on the New Day for the Tag Team Championships. The match starts with AJ Styles and Kofi Kingston in the ring. They meet in the middle and shake hands, and then circle the ring around one another. They lock up in the middle and exchange a series of counters and reversals before eventually stopping and staring at one another as the crowd builds. They lock up once again, and AJ forces Kofi back into his corner, and Ethan Page tags himself in. Once Page gets in, he kicks Kofi in the gut whilst he is held up in the corner. Page then lays in an assault of kicks on Kofi until the referee has to pull him back. Page then poses in the middle of the ring, pointing at his smile. Uh, Page then heads back to the corner and starts laying in punches before tagging AJ back in. AJ takes over and pulls Kofi out of the corner and locks up with him in the middle of the ring. AJ shoots Kofi off towards the ropes and does a drop down Krog and then hits Kofi with his drop kick. AJ covers Kofi but barely gets a count of 2. AJ wastes no time though and puts Kofi in a headlock in the middle of the ring. This lasts for a couple of minutes before the crowd gives Kofi the strength to fight out of it. AJ stumbles back and Ethan Page and once Kofi kicks him out of it, AJ stumbles back and Ethan Page tags himself in. Page rushes across the ring and grabs onto Kofi's foot before he can tag in Woods. Page taunts Kofi while holding his leg before Kofi connects with an enziguri, dropping Page. Kofi then dives across the ring and tags in Woods. Page gets back up to his feet as Woods comes in like a ball of fire, taking down Page, knocking AJ off the apron, and then grabbing Page and going for Eat Defeat. But before he can connect with it, Page shoves him off and rolls out of the ring. Page and Styles then collect themselves and are maybe discussing a game plan when Kofi gets back into the ring, charges across, and dives out onto both AJ and Page. Woods heads outside and starts beating down on Ethan before throwing him back into the ring. Woods controls the pace of the match for the next few minutes and eventually hits an elbow drop off the top rope. He goes for the cover, but AJ is quick to break it up. AJ gets back on the apron, but gets in his face. They argue for a bit before Paige rushes in and rolls up Woods, but Woods is able to kick. Woods kicks out. Paige stumbles over to AJ, where they discreetly tag. Paige turns around and Woods connects with Eat Defeat. He goes for the cover, but the referee tells Woods Paige is not legal. Before Woods can do anything, AJ comes crashing down with a 450 splash and goes for a cover of his own. 1, 2, Kofi now breaks up the pin. AJ and Kofi start arguing when Woods recovers and goes to roll up AJ, but AJ kicks out at 2. AJ and Woods both make their way back to their feet, and AJ throws Woods into the corner. He backs up and charges in and tries to hit a massive jumping clothesline, but Woods ducks out of the way and heads across the ring to tag in Kofi. Paige, in the meantime, gets back on the apron and tags himself in. Kofi and Paige exchange blows in the middle of the ring for a bit. Kofi wins the exchange and drops Paige. It's the boom drop. Kofi then awaits Paige to get to his feet, and once he does, he goes for the Trouble in Paradise, but Paige manages to duck. Just as Kofi is making his way back to his feet, Paige connects with a smile. He then goes for the cover. As he goes, and also while this is happening, AJ Styles does a springboard across the ring, hitting a phenomenal forearm on Xavier Woods. The referee doesn't see the feet on the ropes, and Paige covers Kofi. 1, 2, 3. AJ, not seeing how Paige won this title, celebrates with him up the ramp, and then Kofi and Woods argue with the referee back in the ring. To new tag team champions, the Phenomenal Legos.
Okay. Alright. Here we go. Women's World Title. The A Woman's title, obviously. Bree's alone in the ring. Rox comes out. She has a ton on her mind, obviously, with what just happened with the Undisputed Era and the numbers advantage that Bree has. She keeps looking around. She knows that she can get ambushed at any second. The bell rings, and right away, Rox is trying to get Bree on the ground to lock her in a crossface, but Bree is prepared and gets Rox down in the yes lock in the middle of the ring. Rox starts crawling towards the ropes, but as soon as she gets there, Bree kicks off, and we're back in the middle of the ring. Rox rolls forward quickly to throw Bree off of her. Bree stands up quickly and goes for a clothesline. Rox ducks, kicks Bree in the gut, and hits a pop Rox. Quickly, she transitions into the crossface. Bree is struggling. She then grabs Rox by the hair and starts pulling it to break the hold. The ref is yelling at her to let go. Bree tells her to shut up and let her go to work. She drags Rox into the corner turnbuckle. She gets her hair on both sides of it and quickly pulls up and down. Rox's head keeps hitting the bottom turnbuckle and the mat over and over again. Bree is yelling at her to tap out, but she refuses. Bree says it's over. She drags a lifeless Rox back into the middle of the ring. She goes outside for a second to grab a kendo stick. She locks locks in the yes lock. Why the fuck did I put yeah lock? The yes lock with a kendo stick across. The yeah lock with a kendo
I
stick
was thinking the
across
same
Rock's
thing.
face.
Same thing came across my mind.
Rox doesn't have many options left in her. So she does the only thing she can. She stoops to Bree's level and she starts pulling Bree's hair. Bree starts yelling at the ref to tell her to let go. The ref puts both hands in the air and says, "I'ma just let her go to work." Bree lets go of the hold. Rox has fuck, I lost the count. Bree lets go of the hold. Rox gets up, but not fast enough. Bree is up already, and she starts hitting Rox with a bunch of kendo stick shots. Rox is down. Bree goes up to the ref and starts yelling at her. Why did you actually? Why don't you actually do your job? She can't grab my hair like that. That's cheating. The ref has had enough. She starts yelling back. You can't talk to me like that. I'm the damn ref. She starts pointing on the logo on her outfit. This means I'm in charge here, not you. Bree is stunned. The ref starts getting closer and closer to Bree. Bree just keeps moving back until she's eventually in the corner. The ref gets on the second rope and continues yelling at Bree as she's trapped in the corner. The ref is looking down on her. You can see every vein in the ref's face as they absolutely unload. If you touch me one more time, you're done. Do you understand? I'm giving you one last chance. Do not mess it up. The ref gets off and walks away. Bree's just absolutely stunned as to what just happened. She says, "She's fine. I'm sorry." Turns around and gets hit with a pop rocks. Rocks gets the candlestick. She's about to unload when someone grabs the stick from behind. It's Nikki Bella. Rocks goes to punch her, but she ducks. From Rox's side comes in Natalia to attack her. They start laying into her, and they finally get her into position. Natalia locks in the sharpshooter on Rox. Brie locks in the yes lock on the side, on one side, and Nikki locks it in on the other side. There's nowhere to go. This is the end. Until we hear Bailey's theme song play. The crowd pops. Bailey comes running towards the ring. Nikki runs towards her and gets hit with a Bailey to belly on the ramp. Bailey gets in the ring. Nat lets go of the sharpshooter. Attacks Bailey, but Bailey pushes Nat into Bree, breaking the hold. Nat goes again at Bailey. Bailey, however, is able to hit a rose plant and fight off Nat and Nikki to the back. Bree looks as they get pushed back and is yelling at them to come back. In the background of the shot, we see Rox get to her feet. She's staring daggers into Bree. Bree turns around. Rox picks up the kendo stick and starts unloading. Rox senses it's almost over. She puts Bree in the crossface with the kendo stick in the middle of the ring. With nowhere left to run, Bree taps out, and Roxanne Perez retains.
The yeah lock.
Yeah, well,
I don't even know if LA Knight is on either of our brands.
he's on my brand.
Well, he's got a new move.
All right, let's see what the main event has in store.
Main event: Seth Rollins versus Swerve Strickland for the World Heavyweight Championship. The bell rings and neither man moves an inch. They just stare one another down and let the crowd build. The crowd goes from singing Seth's songs to chanting Swerve's house. They continue to bask in the crowd before making their way to the middle of the ring and locking up. Seth tries to push Swerve back, but he holds his ground. You then see Swerve try to push Seth back, but he also holds his ground. Both men break up their grapple and stare one another down again. Seth then reaches out a hand, and they go for a test of strength. Both men jockey for position before Seth starts to push Swerve back into the corner. Right before Swerve hits the corner, he reverses and plants Seth in the corner. Seth then takes a step back and chops Seth across. Swerve takes a step back and chops Seth across the chest. Jesus. Swerve hits a couple more chops before Seth gets fed his own before he starts kicking Swerve in the gut, which drops him in the corner. Seth continues kicking until Swerve rolls out of the ring. Seth is quick to give chase and chases Swerve around the ring. Swerve slides in first and Seth slides in after. As Seth is sliding in, Swerve hits the ropes and stomps his foot right in front of Seth's face. Swerve then bends down and tells Seth it could all end just that quickly. He then backs up and allows Seth to get to his feet. They circle the ring for a moment before locking back up in the middle. Swerve gets control of the situation and works over Seth for a few minutes before Seth starts fighting back. Seth throws Swerve towards the ropes and goes for a drop kick, but Swerve holds himself on the ropes and hits a baseball side of Rollins' head as he is getting up. Swerve then keeps pacing around, kicking Seth in the head, laughing at him, saying, "The world title is coming back to whose house?" And the crowd chants back, "Swerve's house." Seth is slowly picking himself up off the mat when Swerve backs up and goes for the house call, which is a kick to the back of the head. But Seth manages to quickly dodge as Swerve goes. But Seth manages to quickly dodge, and as Swerve goes to pick himself up, Seth charges in and nails a curb stomp. Seth goes for the cover. 1, 2, Swerve kicks out. Seth feels like he may be close to something and quickly picks up Swerve and gets him in a powerbomb position. He then charges across the ring and hits him with the buckle bomb. Swerve, though, doesn't fall out of the corner. This confuses Seth a bit, but Seth just heads over to Swerve and picks him up and places him on the top rope. Seth then climbs up top with Swerve and is seemingly going for the superplex, but just as he gets Swerve completely upright, Swerve slips out of his grasp, landing on his feet on the mat. Swerve then super kicks the back of Seth's leg, leaving him in a position for a mushroom stomp, which is exactly what Swerve hits on him. Swerve then picks Seth up and gets behind him and hits the JML driver. He goes for the cover. One, two, kick out. Swerve is beside himself that Seth kicked out of the JML driver, but quickly collects himself and waits in the corner for Seth to get in position for the house call. Seth just manages to get to his knees when Swerve charges in, but just as Swerve is about to connect, Seth once again ducks it and gets up. He then kicks Swerve in the gut and goes for another buckle bomb. But as he goes to charge, Swerve is able to swivel around Seth's head and hits a poison Rana instead. Swerve then quickly backs up into the corner and nails a house call to the back of Seth's head. He goes for the cover. One, two, kick out. Seth barely gets his shoulder off the mat, and Swerve gets into a full blown argument with the referee. He refuses to believe that Seth just kicked out of the house call. Swerve is furious at this. Just as he's about to pick him up, Seth quickly rolls him up. One, two, three. Swerve is furious at this point. Seth barely has anything to celebrate this win, and Swerve is just stunned with how he just lost the match. The referee hands Seth the title as he lays on the mat, and Swerve goes to exit the ring, but turns around to see Seth just starting to get to his feet. Swerve thinks
Uh-oh.
ring, carrying Cross's music
Okay,
hits.
yeah, you fucking cut out for a long time there.
Which part did I start?
Fuck, I don't even remember.
That's
He was
great to
so
hear.
tired after the win. Nothing to
Oh,
celebrate.
okay. Seth barely has anything to celebrate the win, and Swerve is just stunned with how he just lost the match. The referee hands Seth the title as he lays down on the mat, and Swerve goes to exit the ring, but turns around to see Seth just starting to get to his feet. Swerve thinks about it for a moment before rushing in and nailing the house call yet again on Seth. Swerve looks down at Seth and then leaves the ring. As he is leaving the ring, Karrion Kross's music plays. Cross methodically makes his way down to the ring with his briefcase and looks down at Seth before handing it over to the referee. Seth is barely even conscious when the bell rings, and Cross doesn't waste any time and picks Seth up and locks him in the cross jacket. Seth quickly passes out, and the referee drops Seth's hands 3 times before ringing the bell and now handing the title over to Karrion Kross walks out of Clash at the Castle as your new World Heavyweight Champion.
Andre Iguodala Finals MVP level. We're solo on time.